Did you think the lines on your face were just a sign of aging? Well, you'll be surprised to know there's a way to bring back the look your skin had 15 years ago with just one application. You don't need to undergo expensive procedures or invest in high-priced cosmetic products. Thanks to the formula I'm about to share with you, thousands of older individuals have already seen amazing transformations in their skin. I'll share all of their stories with you. My name is Dr. Gene Parker, and I'm a specialized dermatologist. There are phrases I constantly hear in my office. Why take care of my skin at this age? I've tried expensive creams and noticed no difference. I'm thinking about giving up on this. But I can say this with absolute confidence. It's never too late to start. In fact, this is the perfect time to begin. Over the years, I've treated countless patients and have seen firsthand how their skin regained a more youthful appearance. There's a trick that isn't even taught in medical centers, but anyone can do it easily from home. And today, I want to share that method with you. And that's not all. If you watch the video until the end, I prepared 3 special gifts. A personalized skincare plan tailored to your skin type, a rejuvenating 5-minute facial massage, a selection of affordable, effective products you can find at pharmacies or local stores. All the information is explained in the video description. Make sure to check it out. If you type Rejuvenation Challenge in the comments, we'll send you personalized recommendations for extra care. As time goes by, our skin changes, and that's completely normal. However, blaming all those changes solely on aging is an overly simplistic view of a complex phenomenon. In older individuals, these are the 3 most visible changes. Reduced collagen production. This protein is essential for maintaining skin elasticity. After age 50, collagen production drops by over 30% compared to your levels at age 20. As a result, sagging, wrinkles, and a loss of facial firmness appear. Weakened skin barrier. This layer acts as a shield against external aggressors and prevents moisture loss. When it weakens, skin tends to become dry, more sensitive, and reacts more easily to different factors. Slower cell regeneration. In youth, skin renews itself approximately every 28 days. By age 60, this cycle may stretch to 45 days or even longer. This results in dull skin and slower wound healing. Even though these changes are a natural part of aging, they can be reversed. Our bodies still have the ability to regenerate. It's just a matter of learning how to activate it correctly. Let me share a real case. Ms. Carly Ming, 77 years old, from Gyeonggi, came to me shortly before her granddaughter's wedding. She felt self-conscious about the wrinkles on her neck and didn't even feel confident enough to wear a hanbok, the traditional Korean dress. I suggested the method I'm about to share with you. 2 months later, she sent me wedding photos with a message that read, "For the first time in my life, I took pictures without hiding my neck. Everyone was asking me what I had done, and she wasn't the only one." Ms. Chloe Hans, who's active in a local community center, received comments saying she looked at least 10 years younger after starting this technique. Another grandmother received an unexpected compliment from her grandson during a video call. "Grandma, why does your skin look so nice today?" They simply followed the method consistently for 3 to 4 weeks, and the results were so noticeable they surprised those around them, all without expensive treatments or exclusive cosmetic products. If this message resonates with you, give a like and subscribe so we can continue walking together toward a healthier, more balanced life. Let's continue. So, what's the secret? The key ingredient is Centella Asiatica, also known as gotu kola. This plant has been used for thousands of years in traditional Asian medicine to promote healing and skin regeneration. Today, modern science has confirmed its effectiveness. It boosts collagen production, reduces inflammation, aids in wound healing, and has antioxidant properties. In fact, many Cica creams sold in stores for $300 to $500 are primarily made from this extract. But today I'm going to show you a much simpler, cheaper, and more direct way to benefit from this ingredient. The combination of Madecassol and Vaseline. Madecassol is a cream with a high concentration of Centella Asiatica, originally created for treating wounds, but now widely used for rejuvenation due to its powerful regenerative properties. And what happens when we combine it with Vaseline? Although we usually think Vaseline only moisturizes, it actually creates a protective barrier that prevents active ingredients from evaporating. This helps the Madecassol components absorb slowly and deeply into the skin. One of my patients told me, "Doctor, I applied the product before bed, and when I woke up, my skin felt like it had been hydrating all night. It was soft, well moisturized, and had a special glow." In the video description, I've included links to the Madecassol products, both plant-based options and pure Vaseline, that I personally recommend. If you're interested, I encourage you to try them. Now, I'm going to explain step by step how to use this combination to maximize its benefits on your skin. The first and most important thing is to choose the right product, because not all Madecassol versions are suitable for facial use. Some common pharmaceutical products, such as Madecassol Plus or Madecassol Triple, contain antibiotics or steroids, making them unsuitable for use on facial skin. In fact, there have been cases where people applied them to their face and had to return to the doctor due to skin complications. Therefore, it's very important to carefully check the ingredients. For facial care, only the herbal ointment from Dong Kook Pharmaceuticals should be used. This is a formula free of antibiotics and steroids. This product comes in a yellow tube with a green cap. It's essential to review the composition to ensure it doesn't contain antibiotics like neomycin or steroids like dexamethasone. As for petroleum jelly, not just any kind should be used. It must be pure petroleum jelly, free from fragrances, colorants, or additives. In other words, a product made of 100% petrolatum. This type of petroleum jelly is easy to find in pharmacies or convenience stores and typically costs around $30. Products containing fragrances may cause irritation on sensitive skin, so caution is advised. Now, if you have everything ready, here's how to apply it. Step 1. Facial cleansing. At night, gently cleanse your face using micellar water. Avoid using very hot water, as it can damage the skin's natural barrier. It's best to use lukewarm water, around 36 to 37 degrees Celsius body temperature. Then, dry your face with a towel using soft pads and apply your basic skincare routine within 3 minutes. It's advisable to moisturize the skin with your usual essence or toner. This step is crucial because well-hydrated skin absorbs the ointment much better, similar to how moist soil absorbs nutrients more effectively than dry soil. Step 2. Preparing the Madecassol and petroleum jelly mixture. Place about 0.5 g of Madecassol, about the size of a thumbnail, on the back of your hand or in a clean container. Add about 1 g of petroleum jelly, roughly 1 teaspoon, and mix thoroughly. For a more hygienic preparation, it's best to use a cotton swab or spatula. The mixture should be smooth and uniform in texture. Step 3. Application. Apply the prepared cream to areas where wrinkles commonly form, around the eyes, between the eyebrows, the forehead, nasolabial folds, and the neck. Around the eyes, gently tap the cream from the center outward. On the frown lines, glide it upward from the bottom toward the forehead. For nasolabial folds, massage gently from the sides toward the mouth. On the neck, apply from the base upward toward the chin. Never apply the product with downward movements, as this may reduce its effectiveness. It's always best to move upward, as if you were lifting the skin. Step 4. Finishing. Let the cream absorb naturally and avoid washing your face before going to bed. This combination gradually penetrates the skin overnight, promoting skin renewal. It's crucial to take advantage of the nighttime hours, when the skin regenerates more intensively. So, how often should it be applied? This is one of the most common questions. Some wonder if, due to its high effectiveness, it can be used daily, but the answer is no. Even the best ingredients can be harmful when overused. Madecassol contains highly concentrated regenerative ingredients, so using it too frequently may cause the skin to develop dependency, tolerance, or even negative reactions, especially in sensitive skin. Therefore, it is recommended to use it once a week. Apply the product only for one night, and the next day continue with your usual skincare routine. If you require more intensive care, you can use it every 3 days for 2 weeks, but then you must take a 2-week break. For example, a patient named Peter Park saw good results and decided to use it daily. After 2 months, he returned with redness and irritation on his face. He stopped the treatment for 2 weeks and used only moisturizer. Afterwards, he resumed using it with the recommended frequency, which helped stabilize the skin and recover the positive effects. The skin reacts strongly to repetition and stimulation, so it's important to respect the proper intervals between applications. Is it advisable to use it during the day? Many people think applying it during the day might be better, but I do not recommend this. The formula is quite thick and greasy, making makeup application difficult. Also, if directly exposed to sunlight, it may damage the skin. Ingredients like Centella Asiatica can increase skin sensitivity to UV rays, so it's much better to use the mixture at night. During the day, it's essential to apply sunscreen properly. It's also important to adjust the Madecassol and petroleum jelly mixture according to your skin type. Dry skin, mix Madecassol and petroleum jelly in a 1:2 ratio. During dry weather, such as winter, you can increase the amount of petroleum jelly. Before applying, placing a warm towel on your face for 2 to 3 minutes to open the pores can help improve absorption. Combination skin, use a 1:1 ratio. Apply a thin layer to the T-zone and a slightly thicker layer on the cheeks and neck. In winter, it's best to apply only to areas prone to dryness, such as the cheeks or around the mouth. Oily skin. Since it already produces a significant amount of sebum, you can mix Madecassol with alcohol-free aloe vera gel in a 1:1 ratio to reduce the greasy feel. Avoid applying on the T-zone and use the mixture only on dry areas, such as around the eyes or nasolabial folds. In summer, limit its use to once a week. Sensitive skin. It's essential to always perform an allergy test before the first application. Apply a small amount to the inside of the arm or behind the ear and wait 24 hours to observe any reaction. If none appears, you can proceed to use it on your face. At the beginning, mix in a 1:3 ratio with a greater amount of petroleum jelly to minimize irritation. Apply only once a week and gradually adjust the frequency according to your skin's response. A patient named Lydia Masters, who had suffered from dry skin for many years, especially during winter, used to experience tightness and burning on her face at night. I recommended increasing the amount of petroleum jelly in the mixture, and after 3 applications, she told me, "Doctor, my cheeks have improved noticeably. I no longer feel that tightness in the morning, and they stay well hydrated. It's amazing. It feels like my skin is drinking water." At this point, I'd like to offer an additional tip that many of you have probably wondered about. If you perform a simple procedure at home using a warm towel before applying the cream, the result will be much more effective. The technique is very simple. Soak a clean towel in hot water, wring it out well, and once it reaches a comfortable temperature for your skin, place it over your face for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then remove the towel and continue with your basic skincare routine before applying the Madecassol and petroleum jelly mixture. By just adding this extra step, your pores open gently, allowing the active ingredients to penetrate deeper layers of the skin, significantly boosting the effects. Mrs. Jane Kent shared her experience with this method. When I placed a warm towel over my face before using the cream, I noticed that the fine lines on my forehead visibly softened. During a video call, my son even asked if I had undergone some cosmetic treatment. Next, I will show you how to properly care for each area of the face. The lines that form around the eyes appear on the thinnest and most delicate part of the facial skin, so it's important to apply the product using gentle tapping motions with your ring finger. Gently spread it from the lower part of the eye outward toward the temples, without applying pressure, as if caressing the skin. Nasolabial lines, also known as marionette lines, tend to deepen over time. In this area, it is advisable to apply a generous amount of Madecassol and petroleum jelly and massage gently with your fingertips in circular motions. Neck wrinkles are one of the biggest concerns for many older individuals. The key in this case is the direction in which the cream is applied. It should always be applied from the bottom upward, toward the jawline, never the opposite. It's essential to follow this upward motion to counteract gravity and provide greater firmness to the skin. Mrs. Kim Sully used to hide her neck with scarves because she felt uncomfortable, but after using this technique for 3 weeks, she shared a photo of her trip to Jeju and told us the following. To wrap up, I will show you an anti-aging massage that takes only 5 minutes and can be easily incorporated into your routine, both in the morning and at night. This type of massage, when done before applying cream, helps the active ingredients absorb better and stimulates blood flow. For the area between the eyebrows, use the middle fingers of both hands to make gentle circular movements for about 20 seconds. This technique helps release tension and contributes to preventing fine lines. For the eye contour area, use your index fingers to gently tap from beneath the eyes outward toward the temples. For the area around the mouth, use your middle and ring fingers to gently glide from the edge of the nose toward the corners of the mouth. This maneuver helps improve cheek firmness and combat sagging. For the neck area, use both hands to perform a gentle massage from the base upward to the jawline. It's essential to repeat these movements softly, avoiding pressure or pulling the skin, and always respecting the natural direction of the skin's texture. All of these massages can be done before or during the application of the Madecassol and petroleum jelly cream, when performed in a calm environment, especially at night. Even a few minutes are enough to bring a sense of relaxation to both your skin and your mind. Now, I will briefly answer some of the most frequently asked questions by older patients in my clinic. 1. When will I start to see results? This varies from person to person, but many notice a reduction in skin dryness after 1 or 2 days of use. Fine lines around the eyes usually begin to improve within 2 to 3 weeks, while deeper wrinkles, such as those on the neck or nasolabial folds, start to soften after about 3 to 4 weeks of continuous use. Although deep wrinkles won't disappear completely, they do become visibly less pronounced. The key is not to get discouraged after the first few uses, but to stay consistent with the application. 2. Is it possible to eliminate existing wrinkles? Realistically, it is difficult to completely erase deep lines that have formed over time. However, it is possible to reduce their appearance, diminish their depth, and improve the skin's texture, resulting in a more even and rejuvenated look. Mrs. Choi Chunja, who had deep frown lines, shared, "They didn't go away entirely, but they've softened quite a bit and are now barely noticeable when I wear makeup. I'm very happy with the results." 3. Can it cause allergic reactions? Centella Asiatica is a plant, and like any plant-based ingredient, it can't be guaranteed to be completely harmless for all skin types. People with sensitive skin should do a patch test first. It's recommended to apply a small amount on the forearm or behind the ear and monitor the area for 24 hours. If no signs of redness, itching, burning, or swelling appear, its use can be considered safe. If any reaction occurs, it's best to stop using it immediately and switch to gentle moisturizers until the skin recovers. A common question is, what sets this formula apart from the Cica creams available on the market? The main difference lies in the amount and purity of the Centella Asiatica extract used. Most commercial Cica creams contain between 1% and 5% of this extract and often include fragrances, preservatives, or other ingredients that may be harsh on sensitive skin. In contrast, Madecassol is a medical-grade treatment, not a cosmetic product, and is characterized by a high concentration of the active ingredient for therapeutic purposes, which enhances its regenerative power and direct action on the skin. Of course, this mixture is not intended to treat diseases, so if you have any skin problems, the first priority is to see a professional. Also, a common question among older adults is, if I have diabetes, can I use it? Since Madecassol and petroleum jelly are topical products, They are generally suitable for people with diabetes. However, because people with diabetes often have more delicate skin or slower healing, it is essential to perform a patch test on a small area and avoid using on open wounds or inflamed areas. If you have any concerns, it is best to consult your trusted doctor first. To conclude, we'll do a brief review of the most important points. Skin can undergo changes even as the years go by. It all starts with a simple, small habit. The combination of Madecassol and petroleum jelly has noticeably improved the lives of many older adults. Some regained the confidence to take photos in just 3 weeks, received compliments during family video calls, and heard praise again in gatherings with friends after a long time. The key is perseverance. Don't overdo it. Try to apply it gradually and consistently, little by little, and restore confidence in your skin. This information is too valuable to keep just to yourself. And don't forget, if you write Time Travel Challenge in the comments, you'll have a chance to receive a personalized care routine that will consider your name and age group in the next video. Beauty knows no age. Over time, we can care for our skin so it shines with an even brighter light. Your skin also has the potential to transform once again. Thank you for being with us today. We wish you a day full of warmth and well-being. Today I want to share a surprising story that is very difficult for me to tell. If you don't watch this video until the end, you might regret it for the rest of your life. Why? Because that onion you currently have in your fridge could either pose a serious threat to your health or, on the contrary, become an amazing remedy with the power to completely eliminate cancer cells. Those who suffer from high blood pressure, diabetes, or similar conditions, in particular, should watch this entire video. The information is so revealing that even many doctors are unaware of it, and big pharmaceutical companies will prefer to keep it secret. After thinking about it for a long time, I decided to share this video publicly. Even though I know many may doubt it, or that it might cause discomfort in the medical field or pharmaceutical industry. However, I can no longer keep this information to myself after hearing countless stories from elderly people who managed to stop taking medications and regain their well-being using this method. Just imagine for a moment that you've been eating onions the wrong way your whole life. What if you've only been getting a small fraction of their benefits? What if the part of the onion we usually throw away is actually the most effective in fighting cancer? Today, for the first time, I'm sharing all this knowledge. The time has come to start strengthening your mind so this golden stage of your life can shine even brighter. Let's begin with the story of Mr. Carl Johnson, a resident of Susungu in Taegu. Mr. Carl suffered from hypertension for more than 4 decades. His blood pressure levels were so high that doctors told him he would have to rely on medication permanently, and there was a constant risk of hemorrhage. Every morning, he would wake up with a racing heart, dizziness, and a great difficulty standing up. However, something extraordinary happened last summer that changed his life. His granddaughter, who was studying in another country, revealed to him a curious secret about onions that she had discovered. Although he was skeptical at first, he decided to include them in his daily diet in a very particular way. In just 1 month, something happened that doctors could only describe as a miracle. Not only did his blood pressure return to normal, but the chronic joint pain that had plagued him for decades also disappeared. Dr. Nate Thompson, his physician, expressed his astonishment, stating that it was a recovery that modern medicine couldn't explain. He said that in all the medical literature, there was no similar case of a patient with 43 years of hypertension managing to normalize his blood pressure in just 1 month. How did Grandpa Carl consume the onion for this miracle to happen? I will now reveal that surprising secret in detail. The first surprising secret is the golden time rule. This rule was discovered by a research group led by Professor Hiroshi Nakamura from the Food Research Institute at the University of Tokyo. The true benefit of the onion lies in this rule. Many people cut the onion and cook it immediately, but this is a major mistake. It has been proven that after cutting the onion, it must be left exposed to the air for a period to activate an incredible compound known as allicin. The difference in benefits between an onion that is used immediately after cutting and one that is left to sit is considerable. The first has virtually no effect, while the second has the ability to attack and eliminate cancer cells. That's why, even if you've eaten onions your entire life, you may never have noticed their real effects. Professor Nakamura expresses regret that most people cannot take advantage of the true benefits of onions. His team emphasized that the difference between cooking an onion immediately or after letting it sit in the air is as great as the difference between heaven and earth. The second surprising secret is the forgotten treasure. Let's be honest. You always throw away the onion skin, right? Did you know that this is a major mistake? According to Professor Robert Wilson from the Department of Nutrition at Cornell University in the United States, the onion skin contains a much higher concentration of quercetin than the bulb itself. This quercetin prevents the multiplication of cancer cells, protects blood vessels, and is vital for our health. Yet every day, we throw away this valuable part of the onion. Professor Wilson explained that discarding the onion skin is like throwing a gold nugget into the trash. If this message resonates with you, give a like and subscribe so we can continue walking together toward a healthier and more balanced life. Let's continue. A research group led by Professor Johnson from medical school at Oxford University recently published a revealing study. An extract from onion skin showed remarkable improvements in the cognitive functions of patients with early-stage Alzheimer's. The patients experienced significant advances in memory, and some even recovered past memories. Professor Johnson stated that the results were superior to any medication currently available for treating dementia. But why aren't we told about this? Perhaps because it could threaten the interests of pharmaceutical companies. A single drug for Alzheimer's generates approximately $1.5 million annually. If everyone knew the benefits of onion skin, what would happen to those expensive medications? It's something worth thinking about. Now I'll share another impressive real-life case. This is the story of Mrs. Jane Parker, who lives in Yongin, Gyeonggi-do. For 15 years, she suffered from diabetes and hypertension, needing numerous medications. Her blood sugar levels were always dangerously high, and her blood pressure was so elevated that her doctor feared she might collapse at any moment. However, her grandson, after reading a medical article from another country about the beneficial effects of onions, decided to prepare this food in a particular way and encourage his grandmother to include it in her daily diet. At first, Mrs. Parker wasn't convinced of its effectiveness, but out of love for her grandson, she decided to follow the recommendation with discipline. The results on her health were so surprising that they left medical professionals astonished. Within just a few weeks, her blood sugar level stabilized and her blood pressure normalized. Dr. Lester Young, her physician, initially believed that the measuring equipment was malfunctioning, but after conducting several tests, he had no choice but to acknowledge this incredible truth. He commented that in his 30-year medical career, he had never witnessed anything like it, and that it was a recovery not even mentioned in medical textbooks. Most impressively, her arthritis pain completely disappeared. With tears in her eyes, Mrs. Parker shared that she felt as if she had gone back 20 years in time. So, how did Mrs. Parker consume the onion to achieve such an astonishing transformation? Below, we will show you the detailed process, step by step. Dear mind-building community, before we continue, I would like to make a small request. Your support, even in a small gesture, has a great impact on us. And don't forget to share this valuable information with your loved ones. A single share could make a difference and save lives. Now let's address the topic of foods that, when combined with onions, can become either healing or, in some cases, dangerous. We begin with surprising revelation. When onions are eaten with certain foods, they can become extremely toxic. However, when combined with other specific foods, their benefits can increase dramatically. Sesame oil is the first food that, when mixed with onions, becomes more effective than a medicinal tonic. According to a revealing study led by Professor Peter Shane and his team at the School of Medicine at Seoul National University, when the quercetin in onions combines with the omega-3 3 fatty acids in sesame oil, the body's absorption significantly increases, and the anti-inflammatory effect is maximized. Professor Peter emphasized that the mixture of onion and sesame oil is not only beneficial, but a remarkably powerful remedy. His team conducted a study with patients suffering from heart conditions, and the group that incorporated onion and sesame oil into their diet experienced significant improvements in cardiovascular health. In fact, Mr. Kimberly Wong, who lives in Boryong, South Chungcheong Province, was about to undergo surgery to have a heart stent placed. But following his doctor's advice, he began consuming onion and sesame oil daily for several months before the procedure. At first, he did it just to pass the time, but after a few weeks, tests revealed that many of his clogged arteries had cleared and his blood circulation had improved, which surprised the doctors. Dr. Jennifer Masters, the cardiologist in charge, commented that the recovery was medically inexplicable and that surgery was no longer necessary, as treatment with medication would suffice. Mr. Kimberly, who used to feel breathless just from walking, can now even jog in the mornings and is deeply moved. He is convinced that onion and sesame oil saved his life. The second food that pairs well with onion is meat. And here comes an astonishing revelation. Recent studies show that onion completely eliminates the carcinogenic compounds produced when grilling meat. This surprising discovery was published by Dr. James Wilson from the Anderson Cancer Center in Texas, USA. He explained that when the harmful substances present in cooked meat mix with certain components in onion, they are almost entirely neutralized. He even warned that eating meat without onion is like exposing yourself to a radioactive zone without proper protection. Even more remarkable is that when the vitamins present in meat combine with the allicin in onion, they create a unique nutrient called a lithiamine, which is proven to be highly effective in preventing Alzheimer's. A team led by Professor Mike Thompson from the neurology department at Seoul University Hospital conducted a study with early-stage dementia patients and found that those who followed a diet rich in a lithiamine showed significant cognitive improvement. One patient was even able to remember his grandson's name, something he had previously forgotten. Professor Mike stated that no current Alzheimer's drug has demonstrated such effects. Now, I will show you a special way to maximize the potential of onions. This is known as the golden technique. It involves sauteing the onion in oil over medium-low heat and letting it cook slowly for a long time, allowing it to caramelize gently. There's no need to rush. This method transforms the quercetin in the onion into a fat-soluble version, which greatly improves its absorption in the body. This benefit is not achieved if the onion is cooked quickly. Professor Chuck Smith from the nutrition department at Jiannam National University explained that the way the onion is prepared greatly influences its properties. He also mentioned that one of the biggest mistakes is cooking it too quickly, as slow cooking allows the onion to become a true natural remedy. The third food that, when combined with onion, works as a powerful tonic is red wine. According to a revealing study by Professor Daniel Cohen from Tel Aviv University in Israel, the combination of resveratrol from red wine with the quercetin in onions greatly enhances antioxidant activity, producing remarkable effects in the fight against aging. Professor Cohen explained the synergy using the formula 1 + 1 is equal to 10. He pointed out that this combination generates notable benefits, particularly for heart health and protection against cellular aging. Research conducted in the Bordeaux region of France showed that many people who live beyond 100 years include onions in their meals and are accustomed to drinking a glass of red wine with dinner. Dr. Pierre Dubin, a local physician, firmly believes that this habit is a key to longevity in the region. In fact, Mrs. Mathilde, who lives in Bordeaux and is 112 years old, claims that the secret to her longevity lies in having onion soup and a glass of red wine every night. Even though she is over a century old, she still does her own housework and enjoys going for walks every morning, which reflects her remarkable state of health. Her physical condition is so surprising that medicine cannot fully explain it. Now I want to share something truly astonishing. Dear mind-building community, do any of you drink onion juice? It's time to stop. It can pose a serious health risk. In recent years, an alarming number of people have been rushed to the hospital due to excessive consumption of onion juice. Mr. Bob Chung, a resident of Goyang in Gyeonggi Province, drank onion juice every day for several months in an effort to improve his health, but ended up in an emergency room due to acute kidney failure and required dialysis treatment. Dr. Lester Shen, who treated him, warned that kidney damage linked to onion juice consumption is rapidly increasing. What's the cause of the situation? When processing onions to make homemade juice, a substance called allicin is released in high concentrations, which puts excessive strain on the kidneys. This poses a significant risk, especially for adults over 60, as their kidney function is often compromised. Dr. Clark Jason, a nephrology specialist at Asan Hospital in Seoul, firmly warned that onion juice should not be considered a remedy, but rather a potential toxin. He pointed out that a single serving of this juice concentrates the active compounds found in several onions, an excessive load for the kidneys. He also emphasized that this could be fatal for older adults with already weakened kidney function. Even more alarming is the fact that the combination of onion and honey could seriously affect eyesight. A study published in International Ophthalmology indicated that the sulfur compounds in onions, when mixed with certain enzymes in honey, can form harmful substances that damage the retina and accelerate macular degeneration if consumed regularly. A notable example is Mrs. Lydia Chong, a resident of Ulsan, who ingested this mixture daily for 2 years, leading to accelerated macular degeneration and significant loss of visual capacity. Dr. Park Jain, an ophthalmology specialist, was astonished by how quickly the patient's vision deteriorated and said there was no clear medical explanation. He noted that it has only recently been discovered that the combination of onion and honey can seriously damage retinal cells, and he expressed concern about the growing number of elderly people consuming this mixture under the belief that it is healthy. Why hasn't this information been shared with the public? Could it be due to interests linked to the honey industry? I couldn't refrain from warning you about this serious risk. Thirdly, another food that should not be combined with onions is fried food. When onions are subjected to high temperatures, acrylamide is formed, a highly carcinogenic substance, and when combined with flour, toxic compounds are generated. According to a revealing study, these compounds cause inflammation in brain cells and significantly increase the risk of Alzheimer's and cardiovascular problems. A recent study by the nutrition team at the National Cancer Center found that the harmful compounds produced when frying onions promote the accumulation of beta-amyloid protein in the brain, which greatly increases the risk of developing Alzheimer's. Dr. Jackie Handsome, head of the research team, warned that the negative effect of onion rings served at fast food restaurants are far worse than people might imagine. Among individuals over 65, who are more vulnerable to toxins, the incidence of dementia was surprisingly higher among those who regularly ate fried onions. To protect brain health, it's important to avoid consuming fried onions. Dr. Jung expressed concern that many people believe onions are beneficial without realizing that, depending on the preparation method, they can become harmful. She insisted that older adults should never consume fried onions. Dear mind-building family, if what I've shared so far has surprised you, what I'm about to tell you about the golden hour of onion consumption will amaze you even more. A recent study by the medical research team at Seoul National University discovered that the effects of onions completely depend on the time they are consumed. In fact, it has been confirmed that eating onions at the wrong time can be harmful to your health. Professor Carl Schuren, from the Department of Endocrinology, explained that this is due to the relationship between the body's circadian hormone rhythm and the active compounds in onions. Eating onions after 9 p.m. can disrupt the hormonal system, cause sleep problems, and lead to a dangerous rise in blood pressure during the night. A clear example is Mrs. Hwang Myungja, who lives in Gimhae, South Gyeongsang. She used to eat onions every night, and within a few weeks, she began experiencing severe insomnia and early morning blood pressure spikes. She reported that she could hardly sleep and would wake up with strong palpitations that cause anxiety. The doctor indicated that these effects could be related to late-night onion consumption. Eating onions on an empty stomach in the morning can cause significant irritation to the gastric mucosa, worsen conditions like gastritis or ulcers, and even lead to stomach bleeding in severe cases. Dr. Lee Junhang, a gastroenterology specialist at Asan Hospital in Seoul, stated that the irritant compounds in onions, when in direct contact with the stomach lining on an empty stomach, can cause significant harm. He emphasized that many patients who believe eating onions on an empty stomach is beneficial actually end up worsening their gastritis. Therefore, he recommended that people with high gastric acid levels, gastritis, or ulcers avoid eating onions on an empty stomach. So, when is the ideal time to eat onions? Exactly 30 minutes before lunch. According to a study led by Professor Carl Schuren, consuming onions at that time significantly reduces the post-meal spike in blood sugar and greatly improves insulin sensitivity. It is noted that for people with diabetes, this effect could be comparable to certain medications. Jupiter Smith, a 67-year-old man who participated in the research, enthusiastically reported that since he began eating onions before lunch, his post-meal glucose levels have remained surprisingly stable, and he has even managed to reduce his insulin dosage. What's truly amazing is that the effectiveness of onions changes completely depending on their color. Purple onions have a powerful anti-cancer effect. Yellow onions are ideal for preventing heart disease, and white onions are particularly useful for regulating diabetes. Dr. Park Ji-young, from the Agricultural Research Institute, confirms that these variations in properties according to the onion's color have been scientifically proven. She explained that purple onions are rich in anthocyanins, potent antioxidants that help slow the development of cancer cells. She also recommended choosing the type of onion based on the condition to be treated to get the most benefit. A recent study conducted by Japan's National Cancer Center revealed that the anthocyanins in purple onions have a significant inhibitory effect on the growth of colorectal cancer cells. Dr. Tanaka Yoshiro, who led the research, expressed his surprise, stating that the anti-cancer power of purple onions is more precise and effective than some pharmaceutical cancer treatments. Even more surprising, according to the study's findings, people who consumed a moderate amount of onion daily saw a dramatic reduction in their risk of developing cancer, surpassing the results of many oncology treatments. So, why do doctors only prescribe medication without mentioning the amazing benefits of onions? Dr. Alexander Morrison, from the International Cancer Research Institute, emphasized that the anti-cancer properties of onions can no longer be ignored and that the medical community must actively recognize them. He noted that more and more cases are emerging of cancer patients experiencing remarkable recoveries thanks to dietary treatments that include onion. Below, we share special recipes to make the most of onion's benefits. In particular, the third recipe is key. It could be vital for your health. First recipe, golden anti-cancer onion powder. Carefully clean onion peels, dry them, and blend them into a fine powder. Add 1 tablespoon of this powder to your meals every day to take advantage of its anti-cancer properties. Louis Shihan, who consistently followed this method, witnessed the incredible disappearance of early-stage prostate cancer. Although his doctor had recommended surgery after the diagnosis, Louis decided to try this natural option first. After 3 months, tests showed a significant decrease in cancer cells, and after 6 months, they had disappeared completely. Dr. Lee Sang-hyun, his specialist, expressed amazement, commenting that the recovery had no medical explanation. Second recipe, sautéed onion with perilla oil to clean blood vessels. Slice the onion thinly and let it sit exposed to the air for a while. Then cook it on low heat in perilla oil until it browns and caramelizes. If you add a small amount of sea salt, it becomes an excellent remedy for improving vascular health. Chuck Jones, who ate this dish every day for several months, experienced a remarkable reduction of plaque in his carotid artery, as shown by an ultrasound, and his angina symptoms disappeared entirely. Cardiologist Clark Herschel remarked that he had never witnessed a similar case in his professional career. Choi, who previously couldn't climb stairs without gasping or feeling discomfort, is now even able to go hiking. According to him, It wasn't expensive treatments that transformed his health. It was the onion. Third recipe, heart-reviving onion infusion that can save lives. This homemade remedy has been credited with saving an elderly man who was on the verge of suffering a heart attack. Both the skin and the inside of the onion are used. Once dried, they're simmered along with a cinnamon stick and a few rosemary leaves. This drink contains compounds that help dilate blood vessels and cleanse the blood. According to Professor Parker Song, a cardiology specialist at Seoul National University Hospital, the mixture has shown remarkable effects in expanding arteries and dissolving clots. In Suncheon, Jeonnam Province, Mr. Lee Jong-pil received a serious medical warning. He needed immediate surgery due to a severe heart condition that nearly led to a heart attack. However, after incorporating onion tea into his daily routine for several months, his heart health improved significantly. So much so that surgery was no longer necessary. Although he was initially skeptical about the benefits of the infusion, he decided to try it as a last hope. After some time, his test results showed astonishing improvement in his heart, even leaving the doctors amazed. This case was documented as surprising recovery that defies conventional medical logic. Dr. Park Jong-cheol, who was in charge of the treatment, admitted that although it is difficult to explain from traditional medical perspective, the patient's improvement was undeniable. Dr. Lee Michelle, a member of the Korean Society of Sleep Medicine, pointed out that certain compounds found in onion skin interact with GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid, receptors, promoting natural rest. Unlike sleeping pills, this alternative does not cause dependency and helps restore the body's normal sleep rhythm. Jong Young-suk, 69, who followed this practice for 3 months, enthusiastically shared that after more than 2 decades struggling with insomnia, she can now sleep deeply without relying on medication. She added that she wakes up feeling clear-headed and full of energy. However, it is essential to take some important precautions into account. Although onions offer health benefits, their consumption can be dangerous in certain situations. First of all, people undergoing treatment with anticoagulants, such as warfarin or aspirin, should be especially cautious, as consuming large amounts of onion could pose a life-threatening risk. Professor Kim Dong-guk, from the cardiology department at Asa Medical Center in Seoul, explained that active compounds in onions can significantly enhance the effects of anticoagulants, potentially leading to severe bleeding. At a hospital in Chongwon, Gyeongnam, a patient named Park Young-ho, who was on anticoagulant therapy, suffered internal bleeding after consuming an excessive amount of onion juice. Although he underwent emergency surgery, the consequences were irreversible, and he was left with permanent paralysis. Dr. Jong Min-ho, who oversaw the treatment, expressed concern that many patients are unaware of the dangers of combining onions with blood-thinning medications. Through tears, the patient's son recounted that his father drank onion juice every day, believing it was beneficial for his health, until one day he suddenly collapsed. The doctor stated that the combination of onions and anticoagulants was the cause of the hemorrhage. The son expressed hope that others would not repeat the same mistake. In addition, people with thyroid disorders should also be cautious. Some studies suggest that certain compounds in onions could interfere with the synthesis of thyroid hormones. Dr. Park So-yeon, an endocrinologist at Seoul National University Hospital, especially advised patients with hypothyroidism to moderate their onion intake. She indicated that some compounds may interfere with the absorption of iodine, an essential element for producing thyroid hormones, and recommended consulting a healthcare professional to determine a safe amount of onion in the diet. Thirdly, individuals suffering from gastritis or gastroesophageal reflux should avoid eating raw onions and only consume them well cooked, since the irritating substances present in raw form can increase stomach acid production and worsen discomfort. Dr. Kim Ji-hyun, a gastroenterologist at Severance Hospital, Yonsei University, stated that raw onions can directly irritate the gastric lining, aggravating gastritis. He noted that eating raw onion on an empty stomach is especially risky and advised people with stomach issues to consume it well cooked, as cooking significantly reduces the irritating compounds. It's crucial to know how to store onions correctly, as improper storage can have serious health consequences. Do you usually keep cut onions in the refrigerator? It's important to check right away, as this could put your health at risk. According to an alarming report from Korea's Food and Drug Safety Agency, cut onions can become a perfect environment for bacterial growth, and if left exposed to air for a long time, dangerous microorganisms can multiply to concerning levels. Kim Young-chol, head of the agency's food safety department, noted that chopped onions, due to their high nutrient and moisture content, create an ideal environment for bacterial growth. He explained that in closed spaces, bacteria can multiply rapidly and uncontrollably. Most alarming is that each year, many people suffer food poisoning caused by improperly stored onions. In South Korea, there has been a significant increase in cases of food poisoning due to poorly preserved onions in recent years. Professor Jo Ho-sung from the Department of Food Microbiology at Seoul National University warned that many people are unaware of the risks of already cut onions, which can serve as a breeding ground for bacteria such as Salmonella, Staphylococcus aureus, and Listeria monocytogenes. Cut onions should be stored in a sealed container in the refrigerator and used within the next 48 hours. If more than 2 days have passed, they should never be consumed and must be discarded immediately. People over the age of 65 are more prone to food poisoning and should be especially careful when storing onions. In fact, the mother of Mr. Kim Min-soo, who lives in Busan, used chopped onion that had been stored in the fridge for more than 48 hours to prepare a meal and suffered a severe case of food poisoning that required a week of medical care. Kim shared that his mother used the onion as she normally did in her dishes, but that very night she began to experience intense vomiting and diarrhea. When the doctor informed her that the probable cause could be bacteria present in the onion, she was very surprised. Now we reveal another surprising discovery about onions. This comes from the results of a recent study that has stunned the global medical community. The finding is related to the remarkable effect of sulfur compounds in onions on neurodegenerative diseases. A team led by Professor Johnson Smith from the Neuroscience Institute at Oxford University revealed that a compound containing 6 sulfur atoms found in onions significantly reduces the accumulation of toxic proteins like beta-amyloid and tau, which are considered major causes of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. Professor Smith stated that onion extract turned out to be more effective than several drugs currently under development for Alzheimer's disease. He emphasized that the compound derived from onion peel was particularly potent. In a double-blind study conducted with patients in the early stages of the disease, the group that consumed specially processed onion extract over an extended period showed remarkable improvements in their cognitive abilities compared to control group. One of the participants, Mrs. Margaret Johnson, mentioned that she didn't expect much at first, but after a few months, she began to notice a significant improvement in her memory. She was deeply moved when she was able to remember the names of her grandchildren, something she had previously forgotten. Professor Smith, who led the research, explained that certain elements in onions stimulate mitochondrial activity in brain cells, increasing cellular energy production and helping to prevent cell death. He also predicted that these findings would have a significant impact on the pharmaceutical industry. He remarked that despite billions of dollars being invested in developing Alzheimer's drugs, such a simple natural solution has been overlooked. He called for treatments to be developed based on the specific compounds found in onions. By becoming a Mind-Building member, you'll gain quicker access to more detailed health information. Check the pinned comment to join immediately. Additionally, in the lower left corner of the video and in the description, you'll find various onion-related products available at special prices. Don't hesitate to try them now. Finally, here's a truly astonishing fact. The way an onion is cut completely alters its effectiveness. According to a study led by Professor Hiroshi Tanaka from the Department of Food Nutrition at Kyoto University, slicing an onion horizontally instead of vertically damages more cell walls and releases a greater amount of beneficial compounds. Tanaka explained that the cutting direction plays a key role in the release of these active compounds, and noted that many people cut onions incorrectly, causing them to lose a significant portion of the benefits. He also suggested letting the onion rest after cutting, sautéing it gently with sesame oil, and then cooking it slowly with the lid on. This process maximizes the onion's antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. In fact, the study's findings show that this method significantly increases these benefits compared to traditional cooking methods. No matter how you consumed onions until now, starting today, try this exceptional recipe. Professor Tanaka emphasized that, according to his medical research, the proper way to cook onions is completely different from what we commonly do, and that if prepared correctly, onions can become a genuine natural remedy. Today, we've uncovered the secrets and surprising benefits of onions, along with the proper way to incorporate them into our diet. In particular, cut them and let them rest for the necessary time. Make use of the peel. Consume them at the right moment. Use the proper cooking method. Pay attention to interactions with medications. By remembering these 5 points, you can enhance the benefits of onions and reduce any potential risks. We'd love to hear your valuable feedback. If you've already tried this method, tell us how it went. In our next video, we'll reveal something even more incredible: a remarkable breathing technique that can revitalize your body within minutes before bedtime. Don't miss it. It can significantly reduce your risk of developing dementia. We wish you a joyful day and a full, healthy life. With all our love, your mind-building community. Thank you